Howdy folks, Nathan up here in Red Rocks, Colorado, and behind me is a 1996 Ford Bronco Eddie Bauer edition. And the owner, Caleb, is right over here. And he's gonna tell us all about why he loves or hates his new ride. Come over here, Caleb, let's talk.
Hi.
All right, so first of all, tell us, what are we looking at here? When did you buy it?
I bought this in August of last year. It's a 1996 Eddie Bauer edition. It's got the 351 Windsor engine in it. Yeah, it's just all around an awesome 4x4.
And why did you buy it?
I bought it because I need something to tow with, and I just wanted a truck. You know, everyone wants a truck these days, so.
All right, so let's take a little tour around the vehicle. Now, we talked earlier, and you said this is actually the stock paint job.
Yep.
Very cool. So what color is that?
I think it's called a forest green.
Forest green.
Yeah.
Now, I noticed that the headlights are in remarkably good condition. There may be a reason behind that.
Yeah, I replaced them because, you know, the old stuff is just so dim. Couldn't see anything at night, so these ones are like 10 times better.
Yeah, I bet they are. Let's take a walk around the truck. Now, first of all, before we get too far, wanted to point this out right here. So, does this work?
Yeah, it actually does.
So, for those of you who don't know this, you can plug it in and it'll heat up the oil. Well, this did some time in Montana, right?
Yep.
So this is a Montana truck that lived through Montana winters and even went through a Detroit winter,
yep.
I believe, right?
Yep.
Did you go up to Montana to buy this?
Yes, I flew out to Kalispell, Montana, and stayed in a hotel there for the night and drove it back for the next 24 hours. So.
And it has the 351 Windsor,
yeah.
Right? That's bigger. Really cool. Because these also had the 302s available. Now this is fuel injected. We're going to pop the hood in just a minute. But what's really cool is that the 302 just didn't have a lot of oomph for such a heavy truck. The 351 had a little bit more brio to it. So let's walk around. I wanted to show everybody the wheels because, ba-bam, that is not a auto locking hub. Explain what that is.
That's a aftermarket Warn locking hub. You most of the time the auto locking ones failed after maybe a year or so.
Right.
So people get tired of replacing them, and they just replace them with the Warn stuff. So it's just way easier maintenance-wise.
That is cool. Yeah, a lot of people like doing this, and in terms of overall long-term reliability, these tend to be a lot better. Let's move our way to the back. Now I noticed these are not factory tires. These are, looks like BFG's KO2s, right?
Yep.
You put these on?
Yep.
How does it handle with the tires?
It's really smooth. First time I put them on, super quiet. Still quiet to this day. I have about 10,000 miles on them at this point, so.
It looks like you have the stock exhaust. It looks like almost everything in here is pretty much stock. Have you done anything to this vehicle?
Just the headlights. Yeah, and then just returning stuff to stock, so.
Very cool. Yeah, it's kind of becoming a bit of a collector's thing. You're not seeing that many of these on the road anymore because people tend to beat the crap out of them off-road. Yeah. Now, you mentioned to me earlier that you did take it off-road a little bit.
Yep.
How did that go?
Went pretty well. I think I have more ground clearance than I think I do. But the limited slip rear end helps a lot, and then obviously it's four-wheel drive, so.
Now the limited slip, I believe, was an option too. It wasn't something that came standard, so that's pretty cool. This thing really is fully loaded then.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the back. And what's really cool about these and other vehicles that they competed with at the time is that these unrolled, which is really cool. Now we're gonna have there it goes. That's so cool. You know, only a few people have vehicles that actually do that now.
Yeah.
Toyota 4Runner comes to mind, but I just think that's really cool. Now, we did talk briefly off camera about removing the top. Caleb, you haven't
done it yet.
You have not done it yet, huh? But you are going to do it.
Yep.
I love it when people take the tops off these things. They're not light. Just from personal experience, I had a 1991 GMC Jimmy, and oh man, that thing was really hard to remove. Let's talk about the interior, because this is really the last year of the last generation of this truck, right? So this is sort of the swan song. I believe, power seats?
Yep, it's got
partially
power lumbar.
Power lumbar. Well, that's some luxury, though.
It is
bro.
for 1996.
Power lumbar. You push a button. Yeah. Who needs to hit a pump, right?
Yeah.
Power windows, power door locks,
yep.
And it looks like an aftermarket stereo. The interior looks pretty clean.
Yep, I did replace a couple trim panels that were cracked and broken, but other than that, I plan on replacing the seats too. They're a little bit worn, but...
So let's go over the buying experience, also how much you paid for that, because I know a lot of people are curious. Now, first of all, I did a little bit of research online. Bronco's values are going up. It may have something to do with the fact that a new Bronco is coming out. That's a whole other story with us. But the point is that Broncos themselves, even the Bronco 2, their values looks like they've kind of bumped up just a little tiny bit. Funny thing about the Bronco 2, I did a story on it, and there's a lot of hate.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of love out there for the original Bronco, the original style Bronco, which is based on the F-Series truck. This particular model, with the Eddie Bauer, with the limited slip, this is really the top of the heap, isn't it?
Yep.
So how much did you pay for it?
You're gonna be really surprised because I only paid $4,200 for it.
$4,200.
Yeah.
How many miles did it have on it?
It had 180.
That's still, but with the 351 and everything.
And these engines, you know, I've seen a lot of them go 250, 300,000 miles. So.
Yeah, and they lend themselves to being modified.
And they're easy to replace.
Yes, they are. Wow. Okay, so pretty good reason to fly out there, I'd say.
Yeah.
And so, what do you want to do with this truck in the future?
I haven't really decided yet. I can't decide if I want to keep it stock or if I want to make it like a Baja truck and then put long travel suspension on it. So.
Okay, I vote for the long travel suspension, but I don't mind completely butchering a truck. There's a group of people out there who are going to say, dude, leave it stock, just make it really nice, and I would agree with them as well. So this is a really cool thing. How does it drive?
It's actually quite smooth with Ford's twin I-beam suspension.
Is it twin traction suspension?
Twin traction.
Yeah, the I-beam. Yep, I had a horrible experience with twin I-beam suspension. It's on their rear drive trucks on there. But it's interesting because they're actually really robust. But I've heard people have issues with alignment and ball joints and whatnot.
Tire wear is a big issue, so I have to rotate them.
Yes,
more than often.
Absolutely do. Let's have a look under the hood real quick. What's really cool is that this generation had fuel injection throughout, but they only started doing that during their prior generation. This is really the engine you want. This is a Windsor that is just so much more powerful than the 302. 302s were good; they were reliable, just not a lot of power, especially up here in Colorado. So, are you thinking about doing anything here? They do build a supercharger kit for it?
Yeah, I've seen the supercharger kit, but I don't really think it's worth it. I might do aftermarket heads and intake because I've heard that the restriction in this engine is mostly the upper intake. So
yeah, you could definitely wake up the performance that way. Now this has the 4-speed automatic transmission with overdrive, right?
Yep.
I did have a manual option as well. This is one of those trucks I've ridden in these before. Very smooth. I felt that they were smoother than my old Jimmy by a long stretch. And part of that had to do with the suspension setup, and part of that had to do with the fact that everything was kind of relaxed in the truck and it had a much more luxurious, isolated interior. That's my own opinion. You guys might vary. This is just fantastic. So, final question is, what do you dislike about this truck?
That it's old, and that things need to be replaced every once in a while.
I say that about Roman often too. So. But so parts are going to fall off. I mean, that's part of the deal of getting an old truck. But I mean, other than that, is there anything else you dislike about this truck?
Gas mileage.
Gas mileage. Yeah, there it is.
It's the big engine, so it gets worse gas mileage.
What do you get roughly?
In the mountains up here, I'm getting probably 11, 12, especially going up through Eisenhower Tunnel and everything like that. Yep. Flat roads, I'm getting about 16 at 70 miles per hour. So
that's not too bad, under the circumstances. I mean, it's not the most aerodynamic vehicle out there, right? All right. Well, Caleb, thank you so much for joining us. You can tell he likes his ride, and I really love the fact that it's so stock, and it really does take me back to 1996. I have to say it because we haven't said it yet. How many people have given you guff about OJ?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
Said, why isn't it a white truck, and why aren't you driving slow on the highway, right? Yeah, I figured. All right, guys. Well, for Dude, I Love or Hate My Ride, which apparently he loves, this is Nathan and Caleb. We'll see you next time.